Welcome back, everybody. This is your daily news report, your stimulus check update, your second stimulus check update, the relief package, and the PPP 2.0, guys. It is Tuesday, the 12th of January. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to another one. Guys, the portals for the SBA have opened yesterday, guys. Certain platforms are already open. Platforms like Lendio are already accepting applications. And guys, I don't want any gig worker out there to miss out on the opportunity to capitalize on up to $20,000, $20,832 to be exact, of PPP funding for all those gig workers, sole proprietors, independent contractors, Uber Eats drivers, Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, Instacart workers. Guys, this message is for all of you, and we're going to bring you guys in this video the biggest mistakes to avoid when filing your PPP on an online platform. Guys, coming up right after this. Welcome back, everybody. I am Edward Bilder. You guys are watching Ask Builder. To all my loyal subscribers, thank you guys for joining me again today. If you're watching this for the first time, consider becoming a subscriber. Today is a very, very important video because for all of those members out there who are applying for PPP funding through an online platform, we've got some very key, important messages to send you guys. We want to bring you guys the mistakes to avoid when filing for these online platforms. Now, you could imagine these online platforms, they boast that they can get your funds within 3 business days. That's because they're using an automated system. They're quick, they're easy, and they're often very much misunderstood, okay? You got a robot on one side and a human on the other side, and they're battling, okay? So guys, just ask the engineer over here, and we're gonna give you guys little tips on how an automated system thinks, and give you the very specific details on how you could avoid these mistakes, all right? Now, these mistakes were picked up during round 1 of PPP from viewers like you, everybody who posted comments. We were actually able to solve them right here on this channel because you're not going to get somebody on the phone with these big fintechs. You're not going to get an email response. Imagine for just a minute, okay, you got the robot accepting thousands of applications that are all perfectly well and good. And then you have these very common mistakes that are going into another bucket for a guy like yourself or a gal like yourself and myself to sit and review physically and manually, okay? It doesn't happen quickly, and this could add days and days and days onto your PPP funds. So what started as 3 days could turn out to be a week or a month later, and we don't have that kind of time. We got to make sure we get these applications in, get them processed properly so we can get our funds to us and before the funding runs out as well, right? So, guys, please remember, if you guys are a new viewer today, consider becoming a subscriber. This is the channel that pays you guys. I have a giveaway. When I hit my 5,000th subscriber, I'm going to pick one lucky subscriber who dropped a comment down below to send $500 to. Guys, I appreciate every one of you guys out there who liked, shared my videos so far. We are very close to that giveaway. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys so much. And hey, while you're down there, stop by and check out Webull. If you deposit $100 today, it'll get you 4 free stocks valued up to $3,600. This promotion is not going to last forever, so check them out as well. And I want to give a special shout out to Lisa Avery. I always appreciate your comments. You're a great loyal subscriber, so thank you so much for joining me again. And Will Solomon, you guys found me on Instagram. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Will. And one last shout out. Today's my nephew's birthday, Drew. Happy birthday, Drew. I miss you. I love you, and we'll see you really soon. All right, guys, I'm going to get into those 6 mistakes right now. I'm not going to delay any longer. Let's get this ball rolling. Okay, guys, we're going to get into mistake number 1. But before we do, I want to ask you guys for a little favor. Like this video, all right, so you can save it in your liked videos and use this as a reference. Watch this all the way through, all right? You're going to hear some mistakes in here that you would believe would be so easy that you could never make those mistakes. And you're going to be shocked at some of the mistakes that you could possibly make. But remember, we're battling up against the robot here. And the robot will delay you. And it could delay you for days. And I don't want you to be delayed for days. So watch the video all the way through to the end so that you could hear these mistakes, avoid them, and your funds will be processed rather quickly. Okay. All right, so mistake number 1. All right. Mistake number 1 is your bank address. And this is very common amongst many of my viewers, all right? And it could be very severe in some cases because it could create major delays. It's probably the biggest delay that could be created. The bank address has to match your IRS address, all right? So whatever address you have on your IRS file has to match the bank address, okay? And it has to be the bank in which you do business transactions through, right? So, you're going to say to yourself, well, what does that mean, right? I'm a sole proprietor. I'm an Uber driver. I have 2 bank accounts. Maybe I only have 1. But I don't do business at that bank. No, I don't. That doesn't make sense. I don't do business there. Well, you kind of do, right? Because whatever, if you're using PayPal or if you're using some kind of bank transaction where you're sending the money to yourself at the last stop before you go pull it out of the bank and you say, great, I could go pay my bills or do whatever I need with this funds. This is my paycheck, right? It has to be that same bank. So don't make the mistake of saying, oh boy, I thought I needed a business account, so I went and I quickly opened up a business bank account and put that on my application and it didn't match my IRS documents. Try to avoid that mistake. You have to have everything line up, because what the robot is doing, the robot is taking a picture of all of this information and it's trying to match it all together, right? So it's taking a picture of your forms, it's taking a picture of all the information you entered, and it's going to match that data up to know that the numbers all line up. Now, what could be really severe, and this could create huge delays, is if the money passes through the QA checks, right, and it still has the bank account flag in there, and the money gets sent to your bank account. Maybe you use, maybe you use Wells Fargo Bank. Your money went to Wells Fargo, right? Wells Fargo could freeze your money because it was flagged for fraud. It said, this person is fraudulently trying to collect PPP funds. I flagged them. I had to stop the money. You may not get that information because maybe you didn't check your emails or your accounts didn't show that this was frozen, right? So it will require you to go to the bank, Wells Fargo, with all of your documentation, all of your IRS forms, applications, everything, so that you could vet it in front of a person who would then unfreeze your account and give you those funds. Now, if you don't do this in a timely manner, your funds could be returned back to the lender, which means it goes back to, whoever Blue Line processed through, and then it goes back to the SBA. That adds days and days, right? Could go back to that lender, and you may never know. You may never know that this happened, right? Your account was frozen, it sent it back, and you're asking yourself, boy, I was approved, nothing happened. Maybe I should try applying with a different lender that's faster or something. So I got to do something. I need my funds. And so many viewers did this, and it flagged for fraud with the SBA, because now they're saying this person is trying to create 2 loans under the same name, and they're trying to fraudulently take money from the SBA and the government, right? So this could create big problems, big problems that could be very simply avoided if you make sure that all of your information lines up ahead of time. So have your paperwork in front of you, make sure that your bank address lines up, make sure the names on your accounts all line up, and make sure it's the same bank account that's on your IRS documents where you're doing business through, right? Fairly simple. You could avoid this big mistake before it even arrives. All right, guys, on to the next mistake. Okay, guys, mistake number 2, and this is for voided checks. It's a very easy mistake to make, but we're going to clear up some things for you guys so you don't make this mistake, all right? Most people say today, I don't have checks, I don't write checks, I go electronic with everything, right? So the purpose of them asking for a voided check is to simply verify your bank account, right? And remember, follow those steps that I just gave you previously to this to make sure you're using the right bank account, okay? And go to that bank and ask them for a blank check for your account. Now, they may charge you $1. Not a big deal. You're looking for thousands of dollars. Go buy the check for $1, okay? Take that blank check, and wherever you would typically fill out information in the numbers and, signature area, just write void. Right? If you're going to write your address in there, just put void instead, okay? The mistake you don't want to make is you don't want to cover up the numbers on the bottom that have your routing information and your account information, okay? Because what the robot is doing, it's automated, and it's taking a picture of those numbers across the bottom, and it's verifying those numbers against the numbers that you entered to make sure that the accounts line up. And if they don't line up, so be careful when you're entering the numbers as well. If they don't line up, you're going to get stuck in a delay. It could be months. It could be weeks. It could be days. and you may be able to correct it on your application. Some of the online platforms will tell you that you had this mistake, but others don't, okay? And if you find this mistake, if you figure out that this is the mistake, you can always apply to a different lender, and make sure you don't make that same mistake, all right? Because this could catch you in some tricky situations. Now remember that the address and the name and everything and all that information that's in the top corner that verifies your business has to match the same information that you have as your business address. So don't forget that mistake as well. We kind of talked about that a little bit in the previous one. All right, on to the next mistake.
Okay, guys, you're gonna laugh at this one, right? You're gonna say like, man, how could you have this mistake? We're gonna talk about mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is with DocuSign. Now, DocuSign happens when you're going to accept your loan. They're going to say, hey, here's a DocuSign application. Sign, DocuSign that you want to accept this loan, right? And so you fill out your name, you scroll your name in, and then you fill out your initials, you scroll your initials in, and then you start going through and you start looking for the little yellow boxes, and you tap the yellow boxes, and you put your name there, right? Because it automatically puts your name there. This happened to somebody in my network, and it actually happened to 4 other people from my viewers that they just couldn't get past DocuSign. They saw that they were approved for the loan, they got their DocuSign, and they just couldn't get to the next step where their funds were going to be coming, where it says, congratulations, you've been approved for this much money, boom, your money's coming, right? They couldn't get there. And what the mistake was is they missed a box, just a little initial box on DocuSign. They missed this little initial box. And to avoid this mistake, use the DocuSign tool right. It's going to tell you to go to the next one, right? So at the top, it'll say like next, right? Go to the next box, okay? Hit the next box, and it will advance you to the next yellow spot where you have to hit your DocuSign. Some people were just kind of scrolling through the document, and they're like, oh, there's a yellow box, click. Oh, there's a yellow box, click. Oh, there's a yellow box, click, right? And they missed one. And until you see that blue box on the bottom that says finish, you're not done, right? And you could mistakenly submit this information and it'll come up with an error. And you're not going to know what that error is. You're going to try and call somebody. You're going to try and email somebody. And even that person you talk to, they're going to be like, I just can't figure it out. I don't know what you did. I can't figure it out. I never saw this problem before. Make sure you don't miss a single box on DocuSign. It could seriously delay or even prevent you from accepting your loan, right? Once you get finished, boom, you guys made it and you got through that process. Avoid that mistake. On to the next one.
Okay, guys, mistake number 4. All right. And this one you would say is, oh, this is obvious. This is an obvious mistake, right? But people still miss it. And this is to really vet your IRS documents. That means make sure there's no errors on your IRS documents. Okay. Now, how am I going to do that? That sounds really complicated. I'm going to have to pay some expensive accountant to do this, right? The problem is that companies like Bluevine right now, they accept draft copies. All right. Draft copies already present problems because they're filled out by humans. A human went into and filled out the draft copy, and they didn't run it through a robot. And now all of a sudden you're running it through a Bluevine robot or a Cabbage robot or a Lendio robot. And now all of a sudden errors are going to present, and they're not going to tell you what those errors are. Okay. It's up to you. Now you had your IRS document. You have to make sure there's no errors on that document. Now, how are you going to do that? To avoid the human mistakes, go out to a company, and I'm not sponsored by them, but check out like Tax Act or any of the online platforms where you could build your IRS documents with, and just go through their automated process. They have an automated robot that checks the QA for you, and you could do this ahead of placing it into your Bluevine, where you're going to get stopped and delayed. You actually will find your errors on your own. You're the human. You're going to find your errors. The robot's going to tell you. You're going to go fix your errors. And then you're going to ask, maybe you might pay $6 for your tax statements, your tax documents to come out of the Tax Act. I don't know what the price is, but it's probably pretty close to that. You might pay $6, and then you take that new PDF form, and it's still draft, and you just send it off to Bluevine. It's already been vetted, and it will present far fewer errors. Okay, so don't make this mistake. This one could catch you for several days, weeks even, And you're going to want to make sure you have this right from the get-go.
All right, guys, mistake number 5. This is a mistake where you're going to also scratch your head and say, how could that even be possible? How could that be possible that I can't get my loan? All right, you're going to get a lot of links in your emails, right? And those links in your emails are going to say, click this link, right? Go out to the website and do these steps, okay? And when you click the link, it sends you to the next step. It takes you right to their website, and you start going through the process of the steps with Bluevine, Cabbage, whoever it may be. Click the link, go back to Bluevine, right? Now, this isn't a mistake of, in your Gmail showing that all your links are available, right? This isn't that mistake. This mistake is something that you may never detect, right? You may never detect this as a mistake because you checked your email and you're like, I should be accepting all links from this web address. There shouldn't be a problem here. The link's right there. I see it. I click it. Nothing happens. Nothing at all happens, right? So you're going to go nuts trying to figure this out. This happened to several of my viewers, and we solved it for them right here on this channel. The problem is with their data on their cell phones. The data on their cell phone, the data in their house, the Wi-Fi connection in their house wasn't powerful enough for the link to process. All right, it didn't connect them back to their site. Right now, they've been approved for the loan. The loan says, go here to accept your loan and get your money. Right, click there. You could get your money now. Click it. Right, and they're clicking and nothing's happening. Right, and you're going to say to yourself, how am I going to fix this problem? My data is the problem, and I can't go out and buy a new phone, and I can't go out and upgrade my Wi-Fi. It's all that my company will offer me. Real simple, guys. Go to Walmart, go to McDonald's, go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, go to some big corporate business who has that big corporate Wi-Fi. Man, these companies spend a lot of money on their Wi-Fi, the corporate packages, and they put up plenty of routers within their buildings that gives you the power to connect your links. All of my viewers that had this problem, I gave them this solution, and they went straight to McDonald's. Boom, their funds are on their way. Clicked it, link processed, and their funds were on the way. So don't make this mistake. So easy to make, and you're gonna drive yourself nuts saying, what is wrong, right? So avoid that mistake. On to the next one.
Mistake number 6, guys. This is the last mistake I'm going to talk about today. And it seems also very common, but it's also happens. It happens to many, many people. It happened to people in my network, and it happened to many viewers. You have to use the exact numbers on the platform that you have on your IRS documents. Okay? Remember I talked earlier about how a computer takes a picture and it goes and matches all of your numbers up? Well, that same computer is going to take a picture of your PDF, whatever filing that you put in, if it's a 940, 941, 944, Schedule C, Schedule E, whichever document you used. It's going to take a picture of that, and it's going to match it against the numbers that you set up as your initial application. And it happens that those questions happen before you arrive at uploading your PDFs, right? So what most of my viewers made the mistake about doing is they started the application. They didn't have their documents ready yet. They went and they started the application. All right. And they just said, oh, I think last year I made, I don't know, $10,000 a month. So I'm going to put $10,000 a month in. And then, annually, I think it was, I think it was like $120,000 annually. So they're going to put $120,000 annually in. And then when they actually upload their PDF documents and they start advancing, the computer already has $10,000 and $120,000. But really the number was $10,146.93. And, whatever that multiplies out to, $136,000, right? Whatever that number is, it throws that error. And you're not going to know about it until it's already done. You've gone and you've passed the point at which you asked for the values, asked for the money, and you put in your believed values, right? You've already passed that point, so it's forgotten about. It's gone. It's passed, right? And then you get to this next step number 4, where it says upload your documents. And then you pause because you're like, oh boy, I got to go get those documents, right? So you have your documents, you upload them a day later, maybe hours later. You've already forgot that you put the wrong values in because you just guessed or estimated, and you're stuck. You're stuck in another delay because the computer is saying, flag an error, there's something wrong here. These numbers don't match up, and I'm going to put you in the review queue with the human. And we know us humans, we're pretty slow against the computer, right? So try doing that 1,000 times when 1,000 applications come through and you're sitting behind the desk and you're saying, oh, here comes another one. Here comes another 500. Oh, here comes another 1,000. It's a slow process. So get it right the first time. Have your documents in front of you when you're filling out. This is some good advice. Get your documents prepared first. Check out my videos of what you guys need. I posted many videos with Lendio and Bluevine showing step-by-step processing of what they're asking for. Get those documents first. Get the exact numbers and avoid that mistake. All right, guys.
I thank you guys again for joining me for this video. Stay tuned. I'm going to have plenty of videos like this as we enter into round 2, and there are a lot of more mistakes from round 1. I wanted to keep this nice and clean so you guys could catch all these mistakes. I'm going to have many more videos just like this, giving you guys tips to make sure you avoid so that your funds can come, baby. You want your funds to come quickly? Avoid these things, all right? Thank you, everybody, for watching today. Remember to become a subscriber if you have not already become a subscriber, and I have that giveaway, $500 when I hit my next 5,000 subscriber. So remember to like, share this video with your friends, all fellow Uber, Lyft drivers, gig workers, 1099, sole proprietors, independent contractors. I thank you guys. I thank you guys so much, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.